We're back to the Ask Me Anything Facebook Live. Today is Friday, April 17th. And yeah, we're all still in quarantine, living like inmates. I don't know what's what we're gonna do from here. Hopefully, did I lose you guys? All right. So yeah, living in quarantine. There's some good news about all that. My SUV gets about 3 weeks to the gallon. So after I've calculated, that's what I've been finding. So anyway, all right, welcome aboard. Hopefully you guys are ready with some questions and you got some things you'd like to fire my way. I don't know if I'm seeing the questions. Maybe someone can type something in there. Let me see if I can see them. I don't know if I can. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we are. I am seeing them. Okay, Ashley, got a question. What does this mean for your show? Will have to be 2 seats between each guests? That is a great question. We were having that conversation yesterday, actually. And I don't know. There's no real guidelines as to what the state wants to do. Governor sort of has the call on that, but I mean, what's it going to be? Is it going to be rows 1, 3, 5, 7, and the theater goes only to half capacity, and we go every second row? And then, if there's a group of 4 tickets, have an empty seat in between each party, so it's 6 or 2 or whatever, an empty seat in between each of the rows. It's going to change the way I do my show. Obviously, I'm going to have people on stage in relatively close quarters to each other. So what does that mean? Does that mean that that we put spacing in between, or all suggestions that I have between, given the suggestion stuff is going to be no contact? So a lot of things are going to change. I think that the reality of it is, what's going to happen long term, that's going to be hard to say. But short term, we'll see. There's going to be some changes. There's no doubt about there'll be some changes. So we'll see. Sky is saying, hey, love your show. Thank you so much, Sky. Appreciate it. Can I hypnotize someone to be not bipolar? You can hypnotize someone to minimize some of the effects by that. And one of the rules of the mind is that you can change something happening in the body chemistry-wise, physically, by thought, because thoughts create organic change in the body. So yeah, we can absolutely make somewhat of a difference to that. Now, can you cure it? That's hard to say. Depends on the severity, how much of it's chemically imbalanced, meaning how heavy chemically induced it is. So it all depends on the situation, the individual. So yeah. Hey, from South Africa. Sorry, I bumped the camera. South Africa. Hello, South Africa. My childhood doctor, growing up in a small town, he was the local general practitioner there, and he was from South Africa. And I really liked him and his family. They're wonderful. So can someone you have hypnotized go there against their moral compass? No, not usually. That's a great question. Not usually. Usually we kind of are steered by this moral compass. We can't, when someone's hypnotized, you can't really do anything against their morals or their belief system. But that doesn't necessarily mean that a lot of people have morals and belief system. But for the most part, that's, sort of how it works. So, you can't make someone kill, and people say, well, what if he's a serial killer to begin with? Can you hypnotize him to go and murder somebody? Well, a serial killer is not going to do that in front of that many witnesses. So, no, there's a lot of restrictions on what you can get away with. Can a hypnotist push the envelope by massaging some of the suggestions? Like on stage, if it was something along the lines of, you're going to get naked in front of everyone and, you're going to run around naked on the stage. Well, the subconscious watchdog, the critical factor of the mind, will sort of wake someone up from hypnosis when it challenges their morals or belief system. A lot like your mind does when you're having a bad nightmare and you're having, some type of a nightmare, and all of a sudden when it gets to stress the body too much, what happens? You wake up. So a similar thing happens in hypnosis. When it stresses the body too much and there's too much that's overloading the system, then you'll awaken from hypnosis. Well, what happens if you try to run around the suggestion by saying, hey, you're at home in your shower and you're showering, go ahead and get undressed and ready for your shower? Same thing, the critical factor, part of the mind, knows it's sitting quietly, not really doing anything, as long as everything that we've done to hypnotize them on stage fits in that parameter of the stage. The fun, ridiculous, silly things, but there's that little tiny watchdog that just sits there. And the moment that it goes against the morals of the belief systems, it will spike up. So there's a little bit of a control there. All right, hi from Brooks. Yeah, hello, Brooks, Alberta. I've been there plenty of times. Sorry if this really affects you, Ashley. Yeah, love your show. Been at least 20 times. That's a little creepy. No, I appreciate it. We really do. We love people that come to the show lots of times. And it's always different, even though it's the same show and my same cheesy jokes. Everyone on stage has a different personality, and they bring something different to the show itself. So it's always different anytime you come see it. Hope all is good. All is good so far. Hanging in there. Watching movies and TV. I've watched all of season 1 of Netflix. I'm waiting for season 2 to drop. That's not true. I just started watching Ozark. It's pretty good. I'm two episodes in. I like it so far. Jason Bateman's fantastic. So that's a show that I've been enjoying. Watched a really weird movie about a week and a half ago called The Platform. Very weird, a little disturbing, a lot disturbing, but a lot of parallels to what's happening in the world right now. Interesting. Why don't you guys watch it this week? And it's not going to be for some of you. I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to come on here next week and you're going to say, that was the worst movie I've ever seen. I couldn't even get through it. And other people are going to think it's pretty cool. And some of you it's definitely going to strike up conversation for some of you. So, all right. Favorite show in Vegas? Awesome. Well, thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate that. We always appreciate you guys' support, but who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, our show's going to reopen. I mean, the mayor of LA 2 days ago said, I don't see how we can put any sporting event on until, I don't see it happening in Los Angeles until 2021, which got me thinking, okay, why would you say that first off? Well, that's pretty scary. It's a lot scary for sporting events and for large concerts and shows like mine in Vegas. And the president came on yesterday or this morning, I don't remember, it's all the same, and said that, hey, we're going to leave it up to the governors to open business. Everyone wants to open business. I get that. Everyone wants to get revenue and income and feed their families. I get that. But there's no plan. There's no testing. So that's scary. The Spanish flu, all the deaths that happened in the Spanish flu back in the early 1900s were from the second wave. Now, looking at the second wave here, it's dispersed. The first wave came in and hit a couple of pockets, but now it's affecting every single state. So if a second wave comes, we're not ready to deal with that. There's no plan. So as much as everyone's getting excited about, we're going to open up soon, don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. If we do, there's going to be flare-ups, and there's going to be, it could really hurt a lot of business, and it could really hurt the country and put a lot of lives in jeopardy. And, the economy must go on. That's not worth lives to me. And I don't want to be, it's hard because there's a moral dilemma that you deal with. Like, my type of work and my type of show is potentially, a festering spot, to let people congregate, give coronavirus to each other, and then go home and give it to their families. So that's really hard, Obviously, laughter is important, and I want to provide my entertainment, and I want to, be there for the people, but it makes it, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to make those decisions. I would hate to be, the governor of Nevada, Governor Sisolak, making these decisions because you're pissing somebody off. Right now, if the states don't open and there's more economic downfall, then it's the governor's fault. If the states open and there's a flare-up and a whole bunch of deaths, it's the governor's fault. So to err on the side of caution, you'd think that, you would choose lives and health over the economy and money, even though it's scary. But, whatever, that's my 2 cents. So I'd love to be doing shows again, but, obviously there's this thing in the back of my mind that goes, what do you do? And it's challenging. All right, Corey, Hypno for comedy is great, but I was wondering if it could be used for therapy, either physical or mental. Yes. Matter of fact, people don't spend enough time mental training. they get ready for sporting events and marathons, and you go through all of these different tasks that really put a lot of pressure on the human body physically, but we don't spend any time training the mind, which is the most important part because it runs everything else. So yeah, hypnosis can be used for therapy, and the reason why hypnosis is more effective, and I'm going to say something bold, I'll put my track record up for therapy against any psychotherapist, psychologist, motivational speaker, anything. I'll put my track record up against them, anywhere in the world. And the reason is, it's not so much that I'm, a great hypnotist or a great therapist, which is very much a fact. It's because hypnosis deals in the subconscious mind, the feeling mind, and you have the conscious mind, the thinking mind, the rational thinking, analytical mind, and then the subconscious mind. And all behaviors are emotionally driven, and they're all created in the subconscious. But we're trying to fix them in the conscious. You go to therapy, you sit down in front of a therapist, you talk about your problems, you say things like, oh, well, how do you feel about your mom? I feel this. How do you feel about your dad? How do you feel about your coworkers? How do you feel about your pet dog? And all of these things come up, but you're consciously thinking of them. You're analyzing them in a conscious way. But in order to change any behavior, you have to change it in the mind where it was created. So most of the breakthroughs that happen in psychology and psychotherapy happen when there's an emotional breakthrough, right? Some type of an emotional breakthrough, and that's when we got some work done. Well, hypnosis goes directly past the critical factor, through the conscious, through the critical factor, and deals and creates a resolution in the subconscious mind, in the mind where it was created. That's why hypnosis can get effects in 1, 2, or 3 sessions, whereas you can go to that same issue for psychotherapy, or psychology, or your therapist for 2 years, because that's conscious talk therapy, and that's the difference. A prime example, there's a video on my YouTube channel about a lady that I helped with a fear or phobia of cats. The difference between fears and phobias: fear is I'm afraid of one thing, I'm afraid of that cat, where a phobia is I'm afraid of all cats. And so she was deathly afraid of all cats, and did a hypnosis session with her, and 25 minutes, I think. And the next day she went to the animal, the adoption animal thing. I don't remember what they're called. That's the tip of my tongue. So she goes to the shelter, the animal shelter, and grabs a cat, holding the cat, takes a photo with the cat, sends me a photo of her and the cat the next day. So very phenomenal change. Some of my hypnosis students were actually there for that session, and it really is, mind-blowing to see how fast therapy can make a difference. And there was a student in the class whose daughter, I believe, is a psychologist, and for shits and giggles, she says, hey, just out of curiosity, how long would it take for you to deal with someone with a phobia of cats? And her psychologist daughter said, 1 or 2 sessions a week for a year or 2. Don't think so. 25 minutes, I think the session was. It's on YouTube, find it up, Fear of Cats, I think. I don't remember what it's called. If Brent's on here, maybe he can put the link on it. So yeah, hypnosis can be used for therapy, and it's super, super effective. Very effective. I'm surprised more people don't use it, but it is growing in popularity. Sky Lambert says, my husband is from Falaire and knows your mom and dad. Sweet. I also know them. They're wonderful people. My mom and my dad, they're great. They've been married, it'll be 53 years this October, and they're happy, and they're in love, and they're fantastic, and they're really cool people. And my mom is very funny, and my dad's got a very dry sense of humor, and they make me laugh, and I really enjoy them, and I love them very much. I spent about an hour with them on FaceTime this morning, and that was pretty wonderful too. Okay, good day from Australia. Wouldn't it be good evening from Australia? No, good day, you're right, because that's your saying. Scott Cargill says, hey, how are we doing on setting up the class, setting up practice partners, etc.? That's something we hope that we're going to put out later today. Brett and I have a meeting after this, and we're going to be talking about that, so we'll get you guys connected. Don, hello, hope you're feeling better. Phil Corey, how many cups are in a gallon? Asking for a friend. I don't know. All I know is C cups. That's all you need to know. Why don't you Americans change it to, metric system? There's like 2 countries in the world that use imperial. it's ridiculous. So anyway. Okay, my mom saw you live in Vegas and you hypnotized her. Maybe. I don't remember, maybe if I knew your mom, maybe. But I'm glad that I hypnotized her. That's great. It always makes for fun memories when people can look back at those videos and see their mom being hypnotized. Ever had someone get married on your stage? We're looking to get married in Vegas as soon as it opens back up. I have not had someone get married. The issue primarily for us is, we're kind of governed by a set of rules because they want people out in the casino. So they want like shows an hour and 15 minutes long. And every minute that I go past that, I get charged. And I get charged a penalty fee. So it's a serious business. So we try to, rattle it out. Why are you saying that you need someone to be hypnotized in order to marry you? I'm not sure I understand. That's messed up. Good. Well, I'm glad you guys are looking to get married. That's awesome. Even after staying in quarantine together, man, I thought divorce rates would be way up. Is there one session that really sticks in your mind? Yeah, I've had a couple of really cool sessions. On the YouTube video, the stutterer, David, the stuttering thing, that was pretty crazy. So check that out. It's really, really cool. Lifelong stutterer got on my stage show and stopped stuttering with a couple of suggestions here and there. So it was that was pretty cool. It was really cool. And the cat session's really cool. That one I was just talking about. Look it up on YouTube. It really is interesting to see hypnotherapy done. It's about 25 minutes. I think you'll find it fascinating if you haven't watched it already. So it's pretty cool. Have I hypnotized my wife, who is my ex-wife? Yes. Did lots of hypnosis with her, did hypnosis for childbirth so that she would deliver all the babies pain-free, and she's a legend in the hospital. It's quite remarkable, and we have 4 children together. And my current partner, Kate, is also a hypnotherapist, and we hypnotize each other quite often. I help her with some things that, that she might want to touch base on, creativity and things that we're trying to tap into and just be better humans all around. And she does the same for me. And, so it's good. We hypnotize each other all the time. Can you hypnosis help with night terrors? Yes. When it generates and stems from the mind, the subconscious, yes. Reach out to us. Send me an email through my website, and we'll get you information on that. Love Ozark. Gets even better as it goes on. Good, I'm looking forward to it. Seen my show in Vegas a few years back. Found it very funny. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. Tim, Letterkenny is funny. There's a lot of great burns in there. Great, insults. So Letterkenny is funny. I haven't really gotten into it. I've just seen some clips, but I should maybe watch it. I think it is pretty funny. I'm surprised you watch it. It's a very Canadian, small town Canadian show. Feel to it, right? Grace, how often should your self-help audio hypnosis be listened to, especially when you're using different ones? I recommend using one and kind of getting the results and then move on to another one. However, you can listen to multiple ones at a time, one on, one off each day. But, hypnosis in the mind is a lot like any other muscle rather. So the more you work it out, the better results you're going to get. You can go to the gym once a week, you'll get results. But if you go to the gym 3 or 4 times a week, you'll get more results. Well, the mind especially deals better with repetition. So the more you can listen to it, the better it will be. All right. Philippe. I like the name Philippe. How hard is it to learn to hypnotize? Do you recommend an online course to do this? That's so funny. You played right into my hand. I actually have an online course. And we're on module 3 of 7. And you can easily catch up. And you can jump on board. And those of you who are taking the class, jump in with some comments. I know I saw a couple of students that are taking it. And you tell me, are you guys enjoying the class? Do you recommend the class? I recommend it, of course, because I designed it and made it and I'm teaching it. And we're having a lot of fun. It's really a lot of awesome content. So maybe some of the students who might be signed up for the class, if you guys want to, chirp in and let you guys talk about, the course and not me, because I'm biased. Ozark is great, almost as good as Better Call Saul. Yeah, I didn't want to get into Better Call Saul. I don't know why. There's no reason why I shouldn't, because I loved Breaking Bad. But maybe it's just the character. I just didn't love him. Maybe I'll try that show. I mean, I've got time, right? So if I could hypnotize any famous person, who would it be? I had a chance to work with the Gretzky's. with Wayne and Janet and their oldest son, Ty. And I met them at the MGM Mansion Resort, the MGM Mansions, the hotel, the private hotel that they have at MGM, and did some work with them. I met Janet at a poker tournament, blackjack tournament that we were in, and we got to become friends. And one time she says, "Hey, we want to do some hypnosis for such and such. Can you come over?" And I said, "Sure." So I'm a huge Gretzky fan, so that was really cool. And so I think after that, there's nobody else on my list. Wayne would have been on my list. So I got a chance to hypnotize Wayne and do some really cool stuff, and that was fun. And it was pretty awesome. All right. Rachel, still can't forget I got hypnotized by you. It's real, people. It is real, and I'm glad that you got hypnotized by me, and I'm glad that you got to have that experience, because it is real. Ashley, very concerning and depressing. Yeah, I know we were talking about that. Hi from Texas. Hello, Texas. Hello from the Powder King. Are you kidding me, Craig? You're the Powder King? Oh, that's awesome. Okay, those of you who don't know, in the show, there's a YouTube video. Is this really you, Craig? That's fantastic. We did a show, and a guy came up on stage, and they made him the river dancer, and powder is coming out of his shorts. There's like this big dust cloud that blew up, and I looked down and there's powder on the ground, and I said, either you're smuggling cocaine or that's baby powder. And he's like, "No, it's baby powder because it's really hot in Vegas." I put baby powder in my underwear, which I do that. They used to call me Powder in high school, and the guys made fun of me a little bit, because I think I was using the restroom and closed my underwear, was standing at the urinal, and then and someone went, "Do you have baby powder in your underwear?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they made fun of me and they laughed. This was in, I think, my senior year or junior year, 11th or 12th grade. And they laughed, and the guys were calling me Powder until, they made fun of me in front of the girls, and the girls were like, "Oh, nobody likes sweaty balls. That's awesome." And then all of a sudden, all the guys started doing it. So I've been doing this since high school. Anyway, well, Craig, if that's you, there's a certain amount that you can put into your underwear that's reasonable, and you were about 15 times reasonable amount. Brent, if you're here, maybe you can put the link for the Powder King YouTube video. It's ridiculous. I just did a Zoom chat a couple of days ago with the girls, all my dancers, all my assistants. There's 4 that I have on with me right now that work the show, and we talked about funny things that happened on stage, and we put some clips in it, and I did an interview with them. It's coming up on YouTube soon, maybe the next day or two, a couple of days. And that was one of Summer's favorite moments. Summer said, "Oh, that's the moment I remember the most in the last 10 years. So anyway, Craig, Powder King, that's fantastic. Chris, I show 10 years ago, still have the autographed ticket stub. Sweet! If you keep it, it'll be worth nothing. You need to hypnotize me from overeating. I think we all need to be hypnotized for overeating. I read on Twitter, somebody that I follow, she said, Taco Bell introduced us to the 4th meal of the day, and quarantines introduced us to the 36th meal of the day. And there's a path being worn out to the fridge. Could I hypnotize Trump? Oh, let's not get too political. You need to be mentally stable. Kate saying hi from my house. I just heard that certain shows were planning on touring again, but not until January. Hard to say what will happen between now and then. It's very possible, but look at what happens on a weekly basis here. It's hard to even keep up. Yesterday, all love to all the families affected by this, but the United States recorded 4,500 deaths yesterday. In one day, 4,500. And there's 3,000 that happened on 9/11. And we shut everything down, and it was, and changed everything to eliminate threats and security and all of those things. We had 4,500 people die yesterday, and what are we doing differently? We're doing social distancing. So people are like, "Oh, well, it's not that many deaths." But what happens if social distancing wasn't on? What would that be? 45,000 deaths in a day? It could be absolutely ridiculous. This is 33,000 people have died, and that's horrible in the United States, in the last 5 weeks or 6 weeks. That's crazy, and people are arguing, well, car crashes are X amount of deaths per year, and opioid use is X amount. Yeah, but none of those are contagious. You can't compare them. Car crashes aren't contagious. If somebody crashes, that doesn't mean the next car next to it in the following lane over is going to crash. But that's what these pandemics are, is the exponential growth. So having no plan, who knows what's going to happen, but it's changing, daily, and we're just going to have to keep an eye on it. And there's no word as to when my show is going to open. The target date was June 4th. It's an arbitrary target date. I don't think it's going to happen. Maybe I'm wrong. But I just don't see it. I mean, in order to open, we need proper testing, a vaccine, and proper way to trace, isolate, and not overload the medical system. None of those things are in place. So mathematically, how is that going to work? It's not going to work. I'm a very positive person, not being negative. I'm a realist, and being real, it's not solving the problem. We need to solve it. Hello, Christopher Kidd from Vegas. Hi, Chris. Good to see you. Buddies for years. Used to sell tickets to my show. And we're buddies. We're hanging. It's cool. Anthony, can you hypnotize, help kids with sports performance and sleeping during this time? Yes, absolutely. 100%. There's so much, I talked about it moments ago, how that we focus on the sports, the technique, the practice, and all those things, but nobody ever does any mind training. And it's the most important part, the mind training. People say, well, golf, for example, golf is 90% in the mind. Yeah, but 99% practiced physically. So we spent 1% working on the mind. So if 90% of the game is mental, then wouldn't we work on the mental part of the game? Yeah. So yeah, hypnosis is very effective for sports. So again, and sleep. Here's the thing: we learn how not to sleep because when you're born, a newborn baby, we all know how to sleep. It's something we do naturally, and we start doing patterns throughout our lives that cause us to get out of that habit. So we unlearn how to do it, and it's a matter of going back to nature, the way nature taught us. But a big thing is our circadian rhythms, blue light by devices. One of the things that will help all of you guys go to sleep is this: do not take any more information, because when you take in information, the nervous system has to process the information. Okay, so when you take in information, it's hard to shift from the sympathetic to parasympathetic nervous systems in order to fall asleep. So if you're constantly taking in information, you have to stop and let your body download. So 20 minutes before you go to sleep, turn off the TV. I don't have a TV in my bedroom. And I refuse to have a TV in my bedroom. I don't watch TV on iPads or phones or anything like that before I go to bed. So if you have a TV in your room, you need to turn it off about 20 minutes before bed. Go water the plants, feed the dog or the cat or whatever you need to do. Get your clothes out for the next day, whatever it is you're prepping. But stop taking in information. Stop taking in news. Stop watching TV. Give yourself about 20 minutes, if you can, even more, 30 minutes, to just stop taking in information. Let your brain process, let your nervous system calm down, and you'll find that you'll fall asleep so much better. So again, don't watch TV right until you pass out. You're not going to get a great sleep like that. Okay? There you go. Freebie. No charge. Am I sad about the passing of Colby Cave from the Oilers? Yeah, that was devastating news. Young man plays for the Edmonton Oilers, and he had a cyst on his brain. They did a surgery, and he never came out of it. And it's a sad day for Oiler fans, hockey fans worldwide. Nobody wants to see something like that, especially a young man who has his whole life ahead of him, and hopefully would have had a great career ahead of him as well. And yeah, very devastating. So sad. I have a lot of friends within the Oilers organization, and I know they were all devastated and rocked by that news. And so I wish, sending thoughts to his family and the team and the rest of hockey fans around the world. So, hi from St. John's. Hello, St. John's. Any plan of doing a world tour? Sure, it'll be a big hit. Well, thank you. Coming to India. I've got a lot of fans in India, which is really cool. A lot of people from India come to the show. I don't know why. They like hypnosis, so I got a lot of Indian fans, which I appreciate. I'd like to tour the world, but the world comes to me in Vegas. Everyone from all over the world travels to Vegas, and I don't have to go anywhere. I get to come home and spend time with my kids and sleep in my own bed. And right now, that's appealing. I've been doing it for 13 years. My kids are all getting a little older. That may shift. I may decide to go on the road, or maybe things will be different in Vegas. Maybe there'll be some theater restrictions and things that'll make it difficult. And I don't know, things will change. Who knows? But right now, there's no current plan to do any shows. I'm gonna check my schedule. I got nothing. Absolutely nothing. Stream the difficult balance. Yes, Chris. Hello from Mark Stomping Ground, the Peace Region. Hello, Mike Magoo. Hi from Cyprus. Hello, Don Stevens. Favorite Vegas hotel on the Strip. Everyone likes the Bellagio. The Bellagio's great. I like what they've done with the Venetian. I like the Venetian. And I like Wynn. So yeah, I like, they're all the same. But Planet Hollywood, as much as, it gets crazy and there's lots of activity there, it is one of the better places to stay because, one, it's across the street from the Bellagio. You don't have to pay Bellagio prices. Two, there's so many restaurants in Planet Hollywood. It's awesome. You get so many restaurant choices. Three, it's Center Strip. Four, there's a mall, the Miracle Mile shops. You can do some shopping, and it's not crazy like the shopping at Bellagio where you have to buy Fendi and Chanel and whatever. So they got normal stores. And I really like it. And it's got lots of shows that are affordable. So Planet Hollywood's pretty hard to beat when you come to Vegas. So anyway, Rachel, hello from Texas, Mark. Rachel's seen the show 3-4 times. Really enjoyed it every time. Thank you. Enrique. Sorry, I was reading that. Great opinion. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I'm not sure what that was. Maybe about opening. All right. Love your show in Vegas. Thank you. Appreciate it. Every time someone get married on stage, we talked about that. Trudy, hello. Camille, hello. My niece Camille just logged on and she's going to have a baby in a couple of months. So pretty excited about that. It's going to be my second. So my niece, second nephew. I don't know how it works. It's going to be my niece's kid. That's how it works. Ivan Phillips, good to see you on here, my friend. You took my class, 10 years ago. Have I ever been hypnotized myself in a stage show environment? Very, very beginning of my career, I volunteered on stage in Wayne Lee's show in Edmonton. To experience hypnosis, we were working together a lot, hypnotizing each other in the testing around with hypnosis and how it worked, I did that, and it was fun. So I've been on that side of it. Charlie Taylor's watching. What's up, Charlie? Miranda, hello. Gary, shower clean behavior karate instructor. Shower clean behavior karate instructor. I'm not sure. I think you're having a stroke, Gary. I think call someone. So subconscious mind. Ashley, is there hypnosis for grief? My dad passed away in February. I'm so sorry to hear that. That's awful. It's always the worst when we lose someone so close to us. Hypnosis is very effective because, again, we're dealing with the emotion mind, dealing with the feeling mind. So reach out to us, send me an email through the website, and or my partner Kate, who does sessions, can help you with that dramatically. I know that. So reach out to us, or if Kate's on here, you still throw your email in here, and then she'll reach out, or you can send her an email. Samantha, I only recently found your videos on YouTube since we went in lockdown. They've helped us in a stressful time. Oh, that's sweet. Awesome. Have I been to South Africa to do a show? I would consider. I've never been to South Africa, but I would love to go to South Africa. I really would. That'd be awesome. All the South Africans I've met have just been wonderful people. So, Sean, nice beaver. Thanks. Appreciate it. I like the shirt. It's a Canadian shirt, Canadian Pacific. You look around and you read the news around the world, and you got like dolphins swimming into the canals in Italy and Venetian, and you got deer, coming down to the streets in small towns, and during quarantine, there's a lot more beaver. Yeah. Okay, we went to see you on our honeymoon back in 2015. It was the funniest show out of all of them. I even bought your CDs, even though I never got around to hearing them. Well, like vitamins. Vitamins work better when you swallow them. The hypnosis programs work better when you listen to them. Did you buy the memory one? Help you remember to listen to it? They work better when you use them. They don't work very well when they're sitting on the counter. All right, one time at your show, I sat by an 18-year-old girl, and her mom won the sucker sucking contest. We laughed so hard. Well, I guess she knows how she came into this world then. That's awesome. Once Vegas opens back, you'll continue to do these Facebook live streams? Maybe. They've been fun. As long as you guys are enjoying them and you guys are learning something and you care about hearing me blab, yeah, I'll keep doing them. Mark, I'll take 20 minutes. I'm not sure what we're talking about because now I'm reading these in order, so I don't really see how. Anyway, so I'm not sure what you guys are talking about. I use all of your discs from the show. The weight loss one has been great for me. Also super relaxing. Great. That's fantastic, Greg. Congratulations. Keep at it. Just don't listen to it backwards because then you'll just balloon up. Gary Michaels, I'm a hypnotist myself and would love to speak with you if possible. Okay. Well, send me an email through our website. Chris, great. Your mom's hilarious. She have her own show. She is hilarious. My mom's ridiculous. She's a lot of fun. Brian, do you still remember the scratch joke Mark told you after the show in February? You'll have to send me a message to remind me. Scott, okay. Bridget, 2 cups in a pint, 2 pints in a quart, 4 quarts in a gallon. You know what? With this goddamn imperial shit, you know, makes no sense. 100 milliliters, 1,000 milliliters is a liter. That makes a lot of sense. 10 times the amount. Come on. America's got to switch over to the metric system. Makes more sense. James, you talked about how great your girlfriend is in the past Facebook Live sessions. Can you show us this mysterious mystery woman? Yes. She's not here right now. But yes. How about I have her come on the next Facebook Live? I will make her come on here. Okay, we'll do that. Kate, you're signed up for next Facebook Live. We'll do it together for a portion of it anyways. Have anyone proposed to their girlfriend on the show? I did years ago, years and years ago. I think there's a video of it on YouTube in my channel somewhere where a guy come up and I used him for the spiral. I needed somebody from the audience and I brought the guy up and then we made him do the spiral thing and then I talked to him about that and then he proposed from the stage and she said yes. Have I ever hypnotized a ventriloquist? No. I have never hypnotized a ventriloquist. Or maybe I have and I didn't know they were a ventriloquist. I have no idea. Never hypnotized a ventriloquist. Okay. Ellen DeGeneres said she used hypnotherapy in order to stop smoking. You ever done something like that? Not with Ellen DeGeneres, I haven't, but yes. Lots of therapy, lots of stop smoking, weight loss, nail biting, sports performance, depression, sexual dysfunction, you name it, all of it. Chris, what segment of your show do you look forward to and entertains you the most? Not any of the routines. I actually look forward to the banter. I like bantering with people. I like ribbing them, giving some, teasing them, joking, creating improv, trying to find opportunities to throw jokes in that are topical, that are timely, that are... that's what I enjoy because it keeps my mind engaged. But as far as routines, the auditioning for the porn movie at the very end of the show is always ridiculous. That's a whole lot of fun. EIAO is always great. I like it when the guys get so worked up. And the snake is always so good. So, yeah. Leonard, I was a non-believer until you hypnotized me. You were awesome. Well, thank you, Leonard. I'm glad you got hypnotized. Tim, Very California. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Okay, hi from Sylvan Lake. How is your mental health these days? Thank you for asking. My mental health is great. I'm happy. I'm just having a great time. I'm enjoying not doing shows. I thought I would really miss it after a week, but what are we, a month now? And I'm like, I like it. I've done a lot of shows. I've done over 3,500 shows in Las Vegas alone. And that's a lot. It's a lot of shows. And then all the shows I did before that. I love what I do, but it's nice to have a break. This whole Netflix thing is pretty cool. I had no idea. So anyway, all right. Benny, can you do a quick group hypnosis session for us? Just the basics. I think a lot of us had a bit of a hard time with this virus stuff going on. We could use a pick-me-up. It's a great idea. Maybe I'll put together something and put it on my YouTube channel, and or maybe we'll do it as a live. Yeah, let me think about that. That's not a bad idea. Greg Stewart, who's better, the Edmonton Oilers or the Winnipeg Jets? I'm an Oilers fan, true and true. Who's better? Jets were a better team the last few years, but they're not better this year. And they don't have what it takes to be better this year. They've lost a lot of defensive ability. I think Edmonton's a better team right now. And in the history of the organizations, I mean, Edmonton's got 5 Stanley Cups, and so it's not even a question. Why are you even asking? You're wasting both of our time, Greg. Come on. How long is my hair getting? I'm actually been using the thingamajiggers to trim up the sides. So I'm keeping the sides trimmed, but I mean, this is getting, look at this. It's getting ridiculously long. So anyway, yeah, it's getting long. Not as long as yours. I mean, Rob, your hair was down to like your waist and your back. I know you cut it short recently, or not that long, quite a few years ago. But yeah, nothing like that. Elmira, hello from Grimshaw. Still think you hypnotized Megan too much when we were kids. Yeah, is she still not fully awake? Is that the issue? That's funny. Have you ever seen hypnosis in different languages? Could you do it in French? Réal Simard, who is a cousin of mine and a professional horse jockey, past professional horse jockey. I think you've since retired. Yeah, I've actually done mon spectacle en français. Mais oui. So I've done my show in French. I've seen it performed in many languages. Hypnosis can be done in all languages as long as the person being hypnotized can hear the language and understand the language. Which is not entirely true. I had a story that I talk about, actually I was talking about in my Hypnosis 101 class that just dropped in the modules this week, where I talked about, or actually it's going to drop next week, that I hypnotized a bunch of people in North Carolina, and this girl gets hypnotized, and everyone else starts following along and participating, and I'm like, eyes open, you're going to do these things, and she doesn't move. She doesn't pop her head open, or pop her eyes open and pop her head up. Nothing. So I'm like, oh, okay, she's deeply hypnotized, or she's not hearing the suggestion. I go over and I give it to her again. Nothing. So then I whisper down to her on the count of 3, you pop your eyes open, right off microphone. No response. I'm like, first off, I'm like, is she dead? She was older, right? And no, she's still alive. And so I turn to the audience and I go, who's with this lady? And some guy raises his hand at the back. And I go, does she speak English? And he yells, nope. I'm like, oh no, she's hypnotized and does not speak English. So I'm like, what does she speak? I don't remember if it was Portuguese or maybe Spanish or something. And I'm like, you speak both languages? And he goes, yes. And I go, come up here. So he comes up and I did the show and he translated in English, or rather in the language, Portuguese or Spanish or whatever it was. And I don't remember, it's been a few years. And she responded. So I was doing the entire show with a translator. I'd say it in English to the 7 or 8 people that I had control of, and he'd repeat it in her language, and she'd participate and do the things. It was hysterical. So yeah, that was a really fun time. Tim Barton's like, take the course. Yes, the online course is awesome. Oh, great, Kate. Thanks for jumping in, chiming in. Joe's, I'm on. I love it. Oh, you guys are awesome. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Where do we go for this online class? Go to my website, and you can purchase it that way. And I'll tell you what I'll do. Right now we have 40% off because of the coronavirus thing. And it's a hefty course, but it's so fascinating. It is really fascinating. I'm super excited about it, about the material and everyone. It seems like everybody who's online and enjoying the class as well. So email my website and just say, hey, I want to sign up for the online course, and email us through the website, and I'll give you another 10% off. So we'll make it 50% off as long as you quote Facebook Live. Hey, I watched your Facebook Live. I want the 50% off the course. And we'll do that. So it's an awesome class. It's really cool. So yeah. And the people who are registered before this whole thing, because it was supposed to be a live class, people who were registered before this whole thing, got some extra little goodies and stuff. So we want to extend some of those goodies by giving you a little bit of an extra discount. Obviously, you're not going to get the big goodies that they did, but you get some goodies. So anyway, that's that. All right, you did a show at my school 16 years ago. I was on the yearbook, so we got a pic together. That's cool, Tabry. That's 16 years ago. That's a long time. It's a long time. I'm glad you still follow me. Or I don't know how you ended up here, or if you saw my show in Vegas, or if you started following me from 16 years ago. But if you have, That's a long relationship. It's longer than most people's relationships. So I appreciate you. That's really cool. Mark, great class. Thank you. Appreciate it. Paul Neal, highly recommend it. Paul's on board. Wade, what's up? I hope you're enjoying the memes I send you. I can only send it to certain people, and Wade's got that kind of messed up mind like I do. So Joe, sign up. It's so great. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Moved a lot of obligations to sign up for Mark's class. Can't wait to get through all 3 of them. Lots of good stuff. Thanks, Scott. You've been asking some great questions too. I appreciate it. Because on Tuesday nights, we do a Zoom with all the classmates, and it's been pretty awesome. There's 70 people signed up for it, and about half of them, about 35 or so, are ended up meeting for the weekly Zooms, and it's been really great. Lots of great questions, have lots of conversations. Bridget, have I jumped onto the Tiger King bandwagon? I did watch it. I feel dumber after I've watched it, but seriously, that bitch, Carol Baskin. Anyway, Hypnosis 101 training is fantastic. Thanks, Dan. Dan's on the class as well. Misty's asking, what was your most all-time funniest hypnosis moment? I've had so many. Most of them, maybe half of them gotten onto YouTube. So a lot of them are there. But there's actually one, I really enjoyed this guy. He's wearing a Gangster Elmo t-shirt, and I did this belt snake routine on him. I don't know if Brent's on here or not, but maybe we can put the link on here. It's great. Just the way he spoke, the banter that's going on between. It's an older video from like 10 years ago. It's on my channel somewhere. I don't remember what it's called, but it's a really good one. He's wearing a Gangster Elmo t-shirt. Those of you who've seen it know the video I'm talking about. And Powder King's great, and there's so many great moments. It's a lot of fun. Tim's well worth the time and the cost. The cost seems, when you look at it, you're like, oh, this is a lot of money for an online hypnosis course. It is so in-depth, and it teaches you so much about hypnosis, about the mind, about your life, about just kind of everything. It changes how you view everything from here on out. I think it's an awesome class because the content is so amazing, and we're having a great time. So it's definitely worth it. You should go. All right, Darren Fraser, class is amazing, well worth the cost. Training with Mark is invaluable, but the course is the next best thing. I highly recommend it. Well, thank you, Darren. I know you took my class 8 years ago. Yeah, maybe is it more? Anyway, and so you've been in my life for many years, and you came back a couple of times, and yeah, it's always great to see you. So I'm glad that you're on board with the online class as one of the alumni. The alumni are great because they're all past students, and they're chiming in, and they ask different questions that are, a little deeper in the process, and, really great questions that a lot of the beginners who don't know what to ask go, oh, that's a great question. So they add a lot to the course. So I always appreciate the alumni jumping on board and participating. It's great. We're having fun. Misty, I got honored by you too. Thank you. Or maybe hypnotized. But if not, I honor you. I think you're wonderful, Misty. I have fans in Portugal. Thank you, Portugal. Hypnotized. Misty corrected it. There we go. Wow. Hello from Lake Charles. Yep. Craig. He's confirming that he's the Powder King. Powder King was hilarious. Troy Lorenz. I agree. Panama Beach here. It's Panama City Beach. Welcome aboard. David Brill, we saw you a few years ago. I was fortunate to be on stage. I was EIEIO. Oh, I only pull that out for special people. I got to be the right person to get EIEIO. I do EIO bit maybe once out of every 20 shows. It's got to be the right person, because it's got to be, fit that sweet spot. If it's too young, like young 20s, they get really aggressive, they get angry, and I don't want that. And so I like them a little on the older and more sophisticated, more mature side, someone that I know that's going to be emotional. And so, yeah, I'm glad that you made the cut. Dave Doyle's watching. What's up, Dave? Wade Quinney. If your midget hockey team in your last season of minor hockey in Grimshaw wouldn't have been kicked out of the league in the first game of the season for a small brawl against Peace River, do you think your team would have won the league that year? Yes, there's no doubt in my mind that was something. That was something. I mean, our team, I have so many memories about our team, so many different memories. That's definitely one of them. One of the other things that I remember, or the memories that I remember, is when we all traveled to Dawson Creek, and we went to a tournament in Dawson Creek, and we got there that night and 75% of the team went to McDonald's, because we don't have a McDonald's when we were growing up, right? A town of 2,800 people. There's no McDonald's for miles and miles and miles. Closest one was in Grand Prairie, 2 hours away. And there was only one, and the drive-thru was always full and it was always busy. And so we stop at maybe we did stop in Grand Prairie, because maybe there wasn't a McDonald's at Dawson Creek. Now my memory's failing. But anyway, no matter what, we got McDonald's, and then we stayed at the George Dawson Inn in Dawson Creek, and 75% of the team got food poisoning, and it destroyed our tournament completely. None of us could play. We had about 3 or 4 players that were okay. Everyone else is throwing up. I had buckets on the bench. It was horrific. And needless to say, we lost. We played as many games as we could, but we lost. We were getting blown out, like 18-2 and just 10-0, and it was ridiculous. But that was a crazy memory. I also remember one of my fondest memories was when we played, I think it was the Adams tournament. No, maybe it was Pee-wee. In Peace River. We played for the tournament, and Al Boomer Adair, Uncle Boomer, was doing play-by-play on the radio. And it was a tight game, and I got fed a breakaway pass on Frankie Adrio, and breakaway, and I scored, and that was a big goal, and I was young, and I remember that being a very awesome moment. And so anyway, we had so many great times on the road. Our team was ridiculous. I don't even know. We should have been kicked out many other years, but that's awesome. Thanks for chiming in. Joanne, it's definitely real. You hypnotized me in 2007, again 2018. Well, lasted the part of 2017, the whole show. Maybe less alcohol in my system. Well, I'm glad that you got hypnotized. That was awesome. Nick Toombs, welcome aboard. Hey, did you get back in on the alumni thing? I'm not sure if I saw you. Maybe you did. If not, you need to. You're awesome. Good to see you. Chris from Niagara Falls, Ontario. I love Niagara Falls. I've been there quite a few times. It's beautiful. It's really a great place to visit, and it's very, very beautiful. Make sure you check it out. Chris Kidd, the autograph ticket stub is currently at peak value. It's just going to go down from here. Homemade hairdresser, yep. Gary Little, you're putting a YouTube link. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure it's one of the ones I was talking about. Daniel Hedrick, a class is the highlight of my week. And I've been a full-time hypnotherapist for 20 years. Mark's class is well worth the cost. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate it. Even going over it, even if you've, I'm going through the material again, and I'm rewriting and changing things, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. That's a good way to think about that and do that, and I got to implement it. No matter how long you've been in hypnosis, sometimes it's just a fresh set of eyes looking over you. You're looking at yourself through a fresh set of eyes after seeing the content is very helpful. So great. 256 cases in Newfoundland and Labrador. How many in Vegas now? There's not that many in Vegas. I think we have 100 or 250 deaths or something, 178 deaths, I think, and 3,000 cases or something, which is great, awesome for a city of 2 million. But how accurate is that? We don't have the testing, I could say I don't have anything if I haven't tested for it. So, I don't really trust the numbers. Gilbert, been on my show 6-7 times. Loved it. Thank you so much. Doreen Caron. My mom, Rita Savard, is your family back in Jean Coté. Oh, that's awesome. Remember my sister, More Claudette, and a friend of yours, Michael Claveau, is... oh, that's awesome. Just skipped. I missed it. It skipped. I don't know how many I missed. Today is Cousin Day. Just saying hi, stay safe. Hi, Cousin Rita. Tiffy Johnson, you hypnotized me 3 times. It was awesome. That's great. I'm glad that you participate and have so much fun. Did I try the milkshakes at the Venetian? Black Tap? No, I did not. Do I live near any celebrities? My closest neighbor is Wayne Newton, but he doesn't live there anymore, but was Wayne Newton. I think that's my closest celebrity. Yeah, I think it's my closest celebrity. Yeah. You're the best. Got hypnotized by you several years ago, and I still keep the business card you gave me after the show was over. I didn't know what happened. Things don't work out with you and Gary. Give me a call. So obviously you were the love girl. Still carry my wallet and tell them I have options. That's smart. That's great. Damn, you old. Thanks, Rebecca. I'm 45. I'm going to be 46 in August. Look at the gray. Look at all that. Look at that. That's crazy. Getting old. Mentalism. Oh, hey, Scott Sherman. Good to see you. Is mentalism a part of hypnosis? No. Mentalism is mind magic. Hey, think of a number, or I can think of a name or something. It's mental magic, mind tricks. Hypnosis is real, it's scientific, it's, there's a hypnotic state, and so yeah, they're two different things. I can't stand Carol Baskin. That's awesome. What beer do you like between Molson Export and Labatt Blue or Corona beer? I don't like any beer. Most of the beer I've ever had in my entire life is like half a glass. I don't like beer. Never liked beer. Don't like beer. So there you go. So I don't even know. Pam Martin. Hey, what's up, Pam Martin? Hope you and Jeff are doing well. My little sister Joanne's watching. What's up, sis? You're able to hypnotize people not to fart. No, I'm not a miracle worker. Everyone has to fart. Can you be hypnotized? Yes, I can be hypnotized. Everyone can be hypnotized. It is a natural state of consciousness. Everyone can be hypnotized, but everyone has a different formula. Is it still possible to do rapid inductions online? Yeah, you can do a form of rapid induction, but they'll be like verbal. So they're going to miss the loss of equilibrium. They're going to miss any of that overloading of touching. It's possible, but it's not ideal. Luciano Perez, how's it going? Luciano's my friend from Brazil. I did a conference in Brazil. I went to Belo Horizonte, and yeah, the Brazilians are crazy about hypnosis right now. There's a huge uprising in stage hypnosis and street performing of hypnosis and street hypnosis rather. So somebody's at my door. That's probably a package delivered. Yep. Yeah, so that's that. Anyway, Luciano, hello. Are you in Vegas? I think you're still in Vegas. You were in Brazil, but you came to Vegas. I don't know if you went back or not, or if they'll let you go back now that this whole thing's happening. Do I ever hypnotize an old person on my show? Yeah, I hypnotize all kinds of old people. The oldest, I think, there was a guy, and he set a record. I don't remember how old he was, and it's on a YouTube video, but he set a record. I think he was 81 or 84, something like that. Yeah, old guy on stage. He was awesome. He was hilarious too. All right, what's the opinion on self-taught hypnosis training? I did it, I had some experiences, and I watch your YouTube videos, love the videos. I used your style of hypnosis to have fun with some friends years ago. You can learn anything yourself. Books, research. Now with YouTube, it makes it a little easier. I was originally self-taught from books. But it is so much easier to get taught by somebody, have a mentor, because you can basically shortcut so many problems, so many things that you may not have thought of that you may encounter. And anyway, so something to think about. Yeah, shout out from my wife and I. You've been hypnotized. She wanted to keep the voodoo doll being motorboated by your assistant. Oh yeah, we asked if anyone wanted that to ever have that happen again. Yeah, the look on your face was priceless. Yeah, I do remember that. That was funny. A video about the hockey jerseys. Yes, I do remember that. My cousin Alain is watching. Salut, Marc. Salut, Alain. God, we have lots of cousins. This is a family reunion. That's hilarious. David Lorette, conference finals, Oldham versus Golden Knights. Who do you cheer for? I cheer for the Oilers. I love the Golden Knights. They're my team. I'm part owner of some season tickets, and we share a season. And yeah, I love the Golden Knights. Great team, great environment, but my heart's with the Oilers, and so I cheer for the Golden Knights every single time, unless they play the Oilers. And Oilers are my team, and I watch all the Oilers games. I was the love girl too, Shauna. That's awesome. Sorry if I creeped you out, but that's on purpose. Tim Barland's old. Give me a break. Yeah, Tim Barland's old. No, I'm not. Okay. Any experience with conversation hypnosis? Can I get my kids to do things through text tactfully? Text a little harder, but yeah, conversational hypnosis is possible. Covert hypnosis, can't even get it out. So yeah, that's all possible. Maybe I'll do some classes on that, because I think that'd be fascinating for people to learn. All right, it's noon there, 4 a.m. in Malaysia. I'm glad that you're signing on. You're nuts. All right, so I think I've covered all the questions. It's 1 o'clock, been an hour. I'm surprised that some of you even stayed on this long. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you guys are contributing. The new record. Brent just put it on there. Okay, so hypnosis video, new record. That's the oldest guy. I don't remember how old he was. It was in his 80s. So I don't remember. But watch that video. On that note, I think we'll see you guys maybe next week. So thanks for signing on. It's been an hour. Take care of yourselves. Be healthy out there. And, good luck to you, inmates.